Hello, my audience. I'm reviewing 2012, the Avengers movie from 2012. I give it 6 points out of 10 points. Now I'm going to go into spoilers and all the bullshit in the movie. I thought it was strange and questionable for killing off Phil Coulson because, Coulson, I have no idea who he is other than being a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Even if you do see these standalone movies, I still don't know who he is as a character. That he barely shares any screen times with saying the Avengers, but all the Avengers are heartbroken he died. Because I guess he was a nice guy. Well, shows you that nice guy finished last. Because this nice guy's a forgettable nice guy. And I thought Jeremy Renner was a mistake for Hawkeye. And I thought Mark Ruffalo was a miscast mistake for Bruce Banner. And I thought Chris Evans was too good for this movie. And his script that he's given to work with is mediocrity at best. Makes him look like a total shithead. His version of Captain America in the first Avengers movie is immature jackass, as much as Robert Downey's portrayal on Tony Stark. That's been obviously, and by the way, it's kind of funny how, and by funny I mean not haha, I'm like sad funny because I thought that joke, "Does your mother wear your drapes?" was actually in the script, but turns out it was improvised by Robert Downey, and that's why he's so not a funny comedian. Boom, drop the mic. But he wants to be a comedian and not an actor. Isn't that cute? He thinks he's multiple talented in his body that God blessed him with. When it's false. He's delusional asshole. And Robert Downey apparently, you know how he's like always moving in the chairs and not instead of just sitting in the chairs? Well, that's because that was improvised by Robert Downey by not actually being able to control Robert Downey's anxiety levels on set, I guess. So instead of playing Tony Stark, he's once again playing himself like an asshole. That he's a schmuck. That he is in real life. A pussy. Thank you for shitting on my icon hero from the source material, Robert Downey, and scarring my inner child. And thank you doing that same thing was getting Chris Evans to make this unlikable Captain America and make him also a buffoon and can't even take a shot or give a shot. Or when he's giving a handgun that he has experience with guns in the first one he did. And thank you for making me hate Captain America. That was the only actor I like as Captain America in the shoes of Captain America. That's the only one I like in the casting of the Avengers this movie. And I hated his Captain America in this movie. But at least he's got still a cool costume. But he's unlikable and immature like Captain America shouldn't be. So, and Robert Downey's playing Robert Downey. Scarlett Johansson's playing herself because she doesn't have the Black Widow accent. She doesn't speak with the Russian accents like Black Widow was known for in Earth's Mightiest Heroes and also superhero shows. Marvel's Heroes Perry of the Avengers show called Superhero Squad show. That was meant to poke fun with the 616 Avengers as a team of, and it was meant for laugh. While the Earth's Mightiest Heroes was more genuine. Was this tone was from the source material and like basically took the source material seriously, and the stories and the characters, and not just have the characters play their buffoonish, incompetent selves like this movie did. So Scarlett Johansson's playing, you guessed it, everyone's favorite booty call, Scarlett Johansson. She's a hot bombshell. is what we call her, a sex symbol. So, Tony Stark's now, of all people, married in this continuity, and that's where things start to go wrong. I'm in a committed relationship, and Mary was Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts, who I hate as a character. Before they leave divorce, then they get back together. I guess it is like very off and off again with an on again relationship. You know, they're in a committed relationship and living together. In this one, this is where they start living together. Started the committed relationship at the end of Iron Man 1. Then they are in committed relationship in Iron Man 2 and 3. And I hate them. More than Amber Heard and Johnny Depp as a couple. I just find these two couples insufferable. On paper and in execution. Tony Stark doesn't need to be in a relationship. He's less Tony Stark and more Robert Downey is in a relationship, and he's not an alcoholic and no history of being alcoholic. I hear the reason why they probably picked Robert Downey because it was a perfect because he felt like the live action Tony Stark, as in Tony in the comics starts as an alcoholic superhero and a womanizer, sleeping out, constantly drinking, constantly with multiple women and booze, and hooked on multiple kinds. Yeah, basically he eventually gets over his alcoholism. You know, he's still and eventually around the time of Demon the Ball happened is when he gave it up. And you think that you were wrong if you ever think that they were actually going to actually show you that Tony Stark from the comics. The degenerate drunk Tony Stark that's a womanizer and a hero on duty. As Iron Man. You'd be wrong. If you disappointed, I don't think they give a fuck about you, feelings, or your opinion. So why should I give a fuck about those assholes that wouldn't give a fuck about me? So that's why I'll just be brutally honest with this movie, piece of shit. And that's why I give it 6 points out of 10 points. I didn't really dig the redesign of the Hulk. I thought it sucked how he had Gyno jiggling on his boobs when he's punching and jumping from buildings and had fat on his arms and legs. And apparently Mark Ruffalo didn't want to shave his chest hair, so that's why Hulk has like chest hair for days on his body. And apparently his eyes can't be green anymore. They're not glowing green like they were in 2008 or 2003 or in the comics of Hulk. Or the cartoons or the Luke Ferrigno adaptation. Even had the green eyes. So he doesn't have the green eyes anymore, but who cares? We got explosions and cool CGI effects. Fake explosions because there's CGI explosions. And we got Hulk moving instead of like a being built like a human. He's built like a gorilla and moves like a gorilla when he runs, and because he often has to even like when he's like standing, he sometimes stands on his like fist and his feet when he's standing. I thought that was funny and cute design looking fella he is in this movie. He looks perfectly marketable enough to make merchandise off the character for kids. Fuck you, it's true. This is a toys commercial. Like Batman and Robin. More than Batman and Robin, actually. I can see the toy product placement. I have only also several of these toys as a kid when it came out. Because I enjoy especially the Hulk toys. Oh god, yeah. I'm looking for the Black Widow toys, but they couldn't find any. But maybe they'll in these. This is very toyetic movie. Marketable as PG-13 movie for kids. For PG-13 and other for kids. By the way, in case you don't know, PG-13 it means you be PG-13 or older. I mean, PG-13 or younger to see it suggested on the label. And kids, if you're 13, you're still a minor and too young to drink, or, drive. Even. So you're a kid if you think that this movie's not meant for kids, then you're obviously a kid, mentally retarded, or legally a kid, and just want to be a grown-up. You decide on what you are. Because this movie's made for kids and it's marketed to kids. I give it 6 points out of 10 points. It feels like a fun kids film. For 13 and younger. All ages in that category. It's more kid-friendly than the kid-friendly Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Ironically, those are PG movies, but this is PG-13, but it feels more immature than Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Because no sentimental character actually died on screen like Lois Lane did. It was more mature than what this movie did, was kill Phil Coulson, who I feel like I barely knew. In this ensemble team movie. And I thought low-key it was a shitty villain. Easily defeated. He didn't have a chance against Avengers, especially when his plan's an idiot, and Tony says it. His plan's an idiot. That proves that Tony knows what he's talking about, not stupid or narcissist, right? I guess. Or maybe Robert Downey's a good actor. Or maybe that's just one of the lines that was improvised by Robert Downey being funny and going off script. And also Robert Downey in this movie, when he actually points out the Avengers, like this pissing was a bad idea to get them to like distract them and loot and take over New York. Oh yeah, that was kind of a shitty plan. He didn't have an end game plan. No wonder why he lost in the end. A buffoonish team and a buffoonish villain. What more could you ask for in a mediocre blockbuster of a film? Released back into the year of 2012. I give it 6 points out of 10 points. Goodbye, subscribe. Like this video.